The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. When you come to the end of your rope, tie a knot and hang on. Happiness lies in the joy of achievement and the thrill of creative effort. The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Men are not prisoners of fate, but only prisoners of their own minds. In politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, you can bet it was planned that way. We cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. A conservative is a man with two perfectly good legs, who, however, has never learned how to walk forward. There are many ways of going forward, but only one way of standing still. I ask you to judge me by the enemies I have made. The truth is found when men are free to pursue it. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the assessment that something else is more important than fear. We have always held to the hope, the belief, the conviction that there is a better life, a better world beyond the horizon. If you treat people right, they will treat you right, 90% of the time. We must be the great arsenal of democracy. To reach a port, we must set sail. Sail, not tie at anchor. Sail, not drift. I am not the smartest fellow in the world, but I can sure pick smart colleagues. Do something. Try anything. We have nothing to fear, but fear itself. It is common sense to take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, try something. I see 1/3 of a nation, ill-housed, ill-clothed, and ill-nourished. Better the occasional faults of a government that lives in a spirit of charity than the consistent omissions of a government frozen in the ice of its own indifference. Repetition does not transform a lie into a truth. Human kindness has never weakened the stamina or softened the fiber of a free people. A nation does not have to be cruel to be tough. We must scrupulously guard the civil rights and civil liberties of all citizens, whatever their background. We must remember that any oppression, any injustice, any hatred is a wedge designed to attack our civilization. We look forward to a world founded upon 4 essential human freedoms. The first is freedom of speech and expression everywhere in the world. The second is freedom of every person to worship God in his own way everywhere in the world. The third is freedom from want everywhere in the world. The fourth is freedom from fear anywhere in the world. Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. In the truest sense, freedom cannot be bestowed, it must be achieved. I pledge myself to a new deal for the American people. The only sure bulwark of continuing liberty is a government strong enough to protect the interests of the people, and a people strong enough and well enough informed to maintain its sovereign control over its government. The school is the last expenditure upon which America should be willing to economize. A nation that destroys its soils destroys itself. Forests are the lungs of our land, purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people. It is the duty of the President to propose, and it is the privilege of the Congress to dispose. The virtues are lost in self-interest, as rivers are lost in the sea. Competition has been shown to be useful up to a certain point, and no further. But cooperation, which is the thing we must strive for today, begins where competition leaves off. The overwhelming majority of Americans are possessed of 2 great qualities, a sense of humor and a sense of proportion. I'm not the smartest fellow in the world, but I can sure pick smart colleagues. There is nothing I love as much as a good fight. Take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, try something. The country needs, and unless I mistake its temper, the country demands bold, persistent experimentation. Remember, you are just an extra in everyone else's play. It takes a long time to turn a big country around. Just be steady with your course. It is fun to be in the same decade with you. A radical is a man with both feet firmly planted in the air. The ablest man I ever met is the man you think you are.